Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead. After the modest success of the second film, Universal will still produce the sequel, but they were basically completely uninterested in the film. Which means that now we're back to basically pennies for a budget. But due to this, that means less studio interference, so we can bring old-style A. Michael Baldwin back to play Mike. The film begins with a quick rundown of the last two films and making sure not to show new style Mike number 2 and Phantasm number 2. We continue, oh no, the tall man respawned in the portal, quickly looting his own corpse, and we're back to business. Mike's back looking like Mike. Instead of being pulled through the back glass with Liz, they blow up. Reggie's there to save the day, and oh no, Liz, the studio's no longer mandating that you exist. They got ya. But on the plus side, we found the quad-barreled sawed-off shotgun. You just hate it when there's Jawas in the trees. Tall man, and he wants Mike. But Reggie has a nade instead.
I don't want him in pieces. It's the only way you're gonna get him.
Damn. Good argument. I hate superglue fingers, boy. So Mike recovers as the tall man vibes in his candle room, playing with his fidget brain, all gooey and gross inside the sentry ball. Mike's nurse is being weird by saying go to the light. So in the light room with all the white bed sheets, we meet Jody again, since the first film. But tall man. The nurse wants to do a prostate exam on Mike. So he sticks her in the neck instead. Just in time for Reggie to get a full face of mustard. And she loses her marble. And the ball has an eye. And just, leaves the two. So the two leave and no, Mike, we're not picking up hitchhiking ghost Jody. So the two suit up in their denim and man the power bill. Oh, hey, Jody. That's basically their response in the film.
Jody, what the hell are you doing here? You're dead.
That's hilariously casual from Reggie, but then again, given the last two films, this is honestly one of the least weird things they've dealt with. Jody's the same actor as the first film, and he kind of looks like somewhere between Vince Vaughn and Danzig. He's got a message, but no time, so Jody morphs into a sentinel ball, but he's on their side. But no, the tall man's here with Discord light mode. Jody's got this. Or not. Because the tall man makes silly faces and Jody just freezes, burns up, and that didn't work. The tall man then grabs Mike in his black Carhartts, as Reggie's there helpless. He's never going to get that damn deposit back on that carpet. As Jody struggles to say go to Holtzville in Idaho, which is not real, but we're heading there anyway. We finally make it to Angola, Indiana. See. This is Edna, her boy Rufus, and Henry. They're snazzily dressed raiders, and conveniently they decide not to just kill Reggie and just toss him in the trunk, stealing his car and heading to this one house. There's graves out front. Clearly, they're all dead. Let's head in. And then it becomes Home Alone for a minute.
You're in trouble! You're in trouble!
But they actually end up grabbing the kid pretty easily. This is Tim, and he has no chill as he cuts off some of Henry's fingers and axes Edna, pulling a toy man and using a razor frisbee on Rufus. Henry tries grabbing the gun from Rufus, but he falls down a pit, and Tim double taps him. We now return back to Phantasm 3. He finds Reggie in the trunk and decides to keep him around because, well, who else is going to help him add to his scavenger graveyard? But they head back inside to avoid the Jawas, who finally get the name Lurkers. And at a fireside chat, Tim explains his backstory of his dad used to be the sheriff. During their funeral, he never got the body in the ground. So Tim's mom decides to yell at the manager. So zombie dad comes back to tell her to shut up, Karen. Tim accidentally walks in on his parents doing it in a coffin, so he jumps out the back. The next day, Reggie's like, well, I got a plot to get back to. See ya, squirt. But Tim shows that he's more of a blaster. So now with our new kid to make up for Mike now being old, we burn rubber across the northern Rockies. Until Reggie's like, hey, Tim, can you go ask for directions in that orphanage? Look, here, have some money, keep him. Haha, suckers. Damn. Tim pulling a speed racer. Finally back at the plot, Reggie investigates the morgue. Ah, balls! Nah, we're getting mugged! This is Rocky and Tanisha. As the ball flies at them, Tanisha tries blending in with the shadows. Oh no, the marble's too white. She gets drilled, and unlike the last film, we get all the close-ups and all the blood we want. Yeah! Rocky investigates. I guess she never dealt with the Sentinel balls. Reggie tries breaking free, so Rocky uses nunchucks on the ball. It's super ineffective, so Tim has to just shoot it. Rocky's uninterested in the guys, so they pack up and head east. And I guess they got lost, so they drive in circles and meet back up with Rocky, who decides now to join the party. That was a good waste of time. We make it to a motel, and they only have one queen-sized bed. Kids, stay in the car. Hey kid, it's kind of cold out. You can sleep in our room. Tim catches the hint. So Reggie tries using that ice cream man charm. Ho ho ho, and he gets locked up and she goes to bed. Damn. Next day there's a convoy of hearses. I guess there's Mortician Con nearby. Ah, Psycho Mantis. They escape. Camping out, Reggie tries again and gets rejected again. No chocolate vanilla swirl for him. So Jody wakes up, now fully a black ball. He goes into Reggie's dream where he's getting that rocky road. Ha ha! He's got a message. So bringing him to the desert, he eclipses the sun, going for the Coraline portal. The tall man's hiding out in a studio where Rave was just at, given the lights. He's got Mike in a box. So Jody uses his newfound laser beams he has to free Mike and they make it out. But it was all just a dream. That seeps into reality because Phantasm. Jody makes his own tuning fork portal and frees Mike. The tall man makes it through, but they close it just enough time to get his hands cut off. They dissolve into condoms and turn into some monsters, which are easily dealt with. On the road again. Mike's looking kinda cute in this film. Oh no, zombies. This leads into our Phantasm chase, where Edna tries grabbing Reggie. So Jody uses the shotgun on her. The zombies flip and explode. Head back to the morgue from the first film, because why would they ever expect them hiding out in the bad guy's lair? They find a tank of liquid nitrogen. Inside they find the heads of Walt Disney, Michael Jackson, and Elvis Presley, which makes Mike remember in the first film, the tall man had a negative reaction to the ice cream. So the tall man hates it cold. So Mike catches some Z's in Tim Burton's workshop with his brother's balls on his head. It turns out, the tall man makes the Jawas out of the corpses, but it's actually kind of a byproduct because all he really wants is the brain to make his balls, which is a retcon that kind of goes against the idea of them being used to be crushed down to use on his planet, but whatever. Reggie also found a weird place to sleep as he's trying to dream about having a Rocky job, but instead he gets a zombie job. The zombies somehow survived the explosion and now they have to deal with them. Meanwhile, Mike is watching the tall man play with his balls. All of them. God damn, they sleeping on that gurney was a bad idea, especially in the tall man's own home. So now the group has to save him, and damn, they're too late. So plan B, they make a makeshift ice harpoon, spearing the tall man and shoving him into the freezer, but he counters by shattering his face into a gold ball. Running away from Phantasm 2, it turns out Mike also has a gold ball in his head. So I guess Mike is of the same species as the tall man, or maybe he's a younger version of the tall man from another dimension, or something Phantasm. Reggie tries using plunger on the ball. It's actually surprisingly effective, at first, so they dunk it in liquid nitrogen. GoldenEye Mike decides to run off into the night to try and save his friends. Reggie feels like how I'm feeling right now, and Jody says some bullshit.
Seeing is easy. Understanding, well, takes a little more time.
What the fuck does that mean? Rocky steals a hearse and heads out, and Reggie and Tim live happily ever. Shit, it's over.
It's never over.
Final body count? 8. This movie's pretty good. It does have its faults, like I really don't like the Scavengers, Because they kind of just feel like plot devices so we can meet Tim. It's kind of cool they come back as zombies, but then they just keep on coming back, and it's annoying. But the music's still great. I like Tim and Rocky's character. And it still has that Phantasm spirit of being kind of overly complicated, but if you actually watch it, it kind of makes sense, sort of. The last film being a little overly safe, this film ends up being more like the first film, for better and for a little worse, and it's really cool seeing Jody again. Overall, I enjoyed my time. And out of 10, I'll give it a 7. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for a 4 and 5.